Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So on this channel what we talk about is actually YouTube and everything that goes around on YouTube, like making actual money on YouTube and things like that. But in this video what I really want to talk about is mistakes that you can make as a new YouTuber, in 2020 and beyond, but also how you can actually fix them. Now some of them are pretty obvious, but some are not as much. So the very first thing is not doing the research. If you're not researching on your videos, and if you have a ton of competition, especially if you're a new YouTuber, you don't want to have a ton of competition on the same topic, on the same video and things like that, because you might see that a lot of YouTubers are making a ton of views, well, having a ton of views on their videos, but maybe you're not going to get as much because those channels might have 5 million subscribers and you might have 0 subscribers or something like that. So make sure that you don't have too much competition. Maybe something that's below 100,000 competitors. You can use tools like TubeBuddy or vidIQ. I personally have both of these, and they can help you a bunch to what topics you can do. A good idea is to have maybe less than 100,000 other people that have made a video on the same title. But if you really want to make a video on that, maybe you want to have a long tail keyword. Just like in this video, I will have a long tail keyword because otherwise it is too much competition. Now that is one thing that you really want to look out for. The next thing is expecting fast results really fast. Now by that I mean that some people put out 10 videos and then they don't actually have something that to back it up with or things like that. So maybe what you want to do is to keep up the idea of long term. Maybe it will take you years to actually make your first dollar on YouTube, or your first to actually get monetized. I'm not actually monetized by the time I'm filming this video, and I've been on YouTube for quite a while. So you don't want to actually do this. Some people that are the most successful YouTubers out there have actually been making videos for a very long time and actually weren't monetized for years. So and they're really successful now. So you don't want to have that really short attention span, I would like to say, even though it's not really an attention span. But you don't want to move on to something else just because you think YouTube is not for you or something like that. It's something that you have to better, to make it a lot better, to be better every single time you put out a new video. Whether that's editing, SEO, and making actually speaking better in front of the camera, which I'm actually going to do a video on that. So make sure you do that. So obviously this was the point where you don't want to give up even if you're not seeing results. Maybe you're getting 5 views, that's no big deal, you just want to move on. Now the next thing, and I do this all the time and I'm still trying to improve on that, because keep in mind that I have been struggling, all these points I've made in the past, like I've made every single mistake that you can think of. So this one I'm actually still working on, and that is looking at the lens. You always, when you're filming yourself, you tend to look at the screen to see what you're, to see yourself basically, or seeing what you're filming. But instead you really want to look at the lens, because looking at the lens is really important. That builds trust with people, even though it might not seem natural, because sometimes it's a really small lens. I'm filming on my computer right now, I've made some videos on my iPhone, and it's really hard to actually look at the lens, but it's a really important part, because that's going to keep people interested in you and trust in you. Because if you ever talk to people that are not looking at your face, then that's what it looks like when you're not looking at the lens. So make sure that you look at the lens, and that will bring you, you know, a lot of, you know, that will just be better in all your videos if you actually do this. So make sure you're looking at the lens. Now the next point, and that's a really important point, is not subscribing to this YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed to this YouTube channel, make sure you do so. Actually, don't just subscribe to this channel. Destroy that that subscribe button, destroy that notification bell, you know, do all of that, and actually comment, because I really want to know if you're making any of these mistakes, or that you're still working on them, or anything like that. I really want to know what you're thinking of it, and maybe you don't agree with me. So either way, put it in the, you know, put it in the comments, and let's get on with the next point. The next point is not focusing on the thumbnail. Now again, I've done this a ton in the past, not focusing on the thumbnail. That's a really important point, because, you know, that's just the way it is. That's what's going to, you know, if you don't have a good thumbnail, nothing after that matters. The thumbnail is, you know, you can optimize everything that you want to have the best title, have the best video in the world. People are not going to watch it if you have a bad thumbnail. So, you know, aim for something that's, you know, better than last time, just that point, and actually make a thumbnail that people recognize on your brand. I've been all over the place with my thumbnails in the past, and I'm just starting to make them a little bit more consistent, you know, having a better click-through rate, you know, just seeing what people actually are interested in. And I've actually made a whole video, this was my last video, on how to actually have a good thumbnail, or actually not how to have a good thumbnail, but I do have some tips in there, but actually how to really create a thumbnail, even if you're not a graphic designer. So make sure you check that video out, because that will help you, you know, if you haven't created a thumbnail and you don't really know how to do so. I explain everything in that video. The next thing is not checking your analytics, you know, you know, to see what works. Basically, that's what it comes down to, because you will have your first videos where, you know, they'll probably be all over the place. Most people, they are. I know mine were, and, you know, that's just how it is. But, you know, if you focus on your analytics and see what videos work, why they work, you know, because maybe you have a really good click-through rate, so maybe, you know, you can get something out of that thumbnail that's really good. Maybe you have really good watch time, so why do you have good watch time? Check that as well. Rewatch your videos, why do they have good watch time? You know, all of these things really matter, and that's what you want to double down on. Maybe you have a really good title, so that really helps. That's a topic that people are interested in. Maybe use that topic a second time to actually make it better. So, you know, if people are interested in, you know, YouTube stuff or something like that that you've made a video on, make another video about that topic. You know, not the same video obviously, but make a video that's, you know, serving the same people basically, and that will help you get a long way. The next one is kind of the same, you know, it's not having a niche. When you first start, you probably won't have a niche, but, you know, if you really have a topic that you want to focus on, make sure you focus on that, you know. And if you've put out your first, you know, 10 videos, and, you know, because you don't really know what to do a topic on, then you want to look at what works best, and if that's a topic that you really want to continue to make some videos on, then you can do that. So make sure you check that out, you know, just check your videos and see what works again, and then pick a niche and double down on that. Because if they subscribe to have something about cooking and you make something about making money or business, then those people are really going to be confused, and probably, one, won't watch your video, but second of all, they'll probably unsubscribe from your channel. So that's not a good thing to have. So make sure you only talk about one single subject, and that's going to keep your your audience interested. That's what you really want to do. The next thing, and I think most people have this problem, probably all of the people, when they first start, before they actually start, they ask themselves all of these questions. What if this happens? What if that happens? What if that happens? But here's the thing. Most people don't even start, and that's the biggest mistake of all of this list. People don't actually start. So make sure that you start, because if you haven't started, first of all, leave that in the comments, and maybe I'll give you some advice to actually get started. But it's just something that you have to do, really, is you just have to put your first video out. Keep in mind that it's going to be bad. It's going to be a bad video. Don't worry about it. Don't try and make it perfect. Don't try and think about, is it good enough to go on YouTube? Just put it out there, and that will be your first video. So once you have your first 2-3 videos out there, then it's going to work a lot better. But at the beginning, you don't have to think about that. You just have to keep on improving. And once you put your first 3 videos out, you're going to be more comfortable and, not really have a second thought about putting a video out. The first video is the hardest. So make sure you do that, because, otherwise you'll lose either way. It's not going to be, am I going to win or not? You're losing. If you don't start, you're losing. The next thing is copying other successful YouTubers. Now keep in mind, yes, you do have to look at what other people that are successful are doing, but what I mean by that is copying their videos. If you're copying somebody's videos, on YouTube, it's not going to be the best idea. Maybe you can try and, look at their title, and maybe it's something that you know about, and then put your video about that. But don't copy every single point, have the same style as them, have the same editing style, have the same way of talking, because the most important thing is you have to be you. So if you're not you, then you're losing. So make sure that you're not copying somebody else, that you're not close to them. If you're making videos that resemble somebody else a lot, then maybe stop watching the channel, because that's just not going to help. So make sure that you stay yourself, because that is going to be important if you want to make it work. The next one is spamming other YouTubers. There's so many people that comment on other people's YouTube channels and say, look at my channel, I do videos on that, make sure you check it out. I've made a video about, how to get to 100 subscribers on my channel, and you can check that out as well if you want to. But the point is, I said in that video that you want to comment on other people's videos to make sure that they see you, that you get shown to the world and have your name. And if you see my name of my channel, it says my name and then what my channel is about. So maybe you want to have something like that, and then comment something about the video. Make sure you watch the video first and then comment about the video. And you don't have to say that you have a YouTube channel about this and that thing, because it says that in your name. So just comment something nice on the video, and people are actually going to appreciate that. If I have a comment from you, I really appreciate. Like, if anybody's leaving a comment, if you've left a comment before, you're leaving a comment on this video, I always appreciate to see them. And some of you are just putting that comment to be shown to the world, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you want to do that in a proper way. You don't want to spam people, have a link, or just say my channel is about that or something like that. Just comment on what you saw in the video, and if you appreciate it, and that gets seen a lot. And then when you see that, you're actually adding to the community, and people are actually going to like you. Even if you're just doing that to get some seen on your channel, it's not a big deal, but make sure that you do this properly. So don't spam people, don't say that this is why you have to subscribe or check my video or whatever. Just do it in a good way. The next thing, and this is going to be the last point, but it's going to be extremely important, is not smashing the subscribe button on this video channel. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, then you're losing a ton, and that way you're not going to get subscribers. So make sure that you subscribe to this channel, hit that notification bell, leave me a comment on how you appreciate the video, why you did, why you didn't. Leave a thumbs up, leave a thumbs down. Let me know why or why not. Why did you not appreciate your video? But if you got to this point, it's probably going to be a thumbs up, a comment, and I really appreciate that. And I'll see you next week for the next video. Bye for now.